What's up guys, so let's talk about threshold training. Don't come in the kitchen, I think we called it, something like that. Basically, you know, this ability to put invisible lines in your house that your dogs can't cross over, i.e. the kitchen door. Because when you're cooking and the dog's fucking all up in your grill, no pun intended, it's a nightmare. The reason there's not going to be any dog part of this video, you know, where I show you the training, is because all of my dogs already know this behaviour. So for me to show you anything, I'd have to unteach the behaviour and teach them to be wrong and then teach them to be correct again, which isn't really fair. So, where do you start? The very first step of this is probably the step that the masses tend to forget and not do. Don't give your dog anything of any value beyond the line. For argument's sake, let's use the kitchen. You don't want your dog to come in the kitchen. I don't care what this threshold is, whether it's your living room, whether it's a part of your living room, it really doesn't matter. But you don't give your dog anything in the kitchen. We're using the kitchen as the example for this video. So ever, no food, no water, no play, no stroking, no reward, nothing. Just by doing this, it will decrease the dog's desire to even be in there, because they're like, fuck, I don't get anything in there, what's the point in being in? You know, it's a waste of time. You don't stroke me in there, you don't feed me in there, I don't get my drink in there, I don't get a lead from there, like nothing of value happens. So that's step one. Then step two, you teach the dog that being behind the line brings reward. So you put the dog in a sit stay. You need a sit stay to teach this. If you haven't got one, you need to teach that first. You put the dog in a sit stay and you stand next to it and you mark and reward, and mark and reward, and mark and reward, and mark and reward 10 million times, just like every other behaviour. And then you take a step into the kitchen and you come back out. Make sure you come back out. Don't call the dog to you, because there's just going to end up in headache and confusion in the dog. So you walk a step into the kitchen, you walk back out, you mark and reward. Seems easy, right? It's because it is. This is a really easy behaviour to teach if you break it down into the appropriate steps. Moving on from there, you walk 2 steps into the kitchen, 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps. Then you've got to start doing things in the kitchen. If the dog crosses the line, you no reward mark it. We haven't gone over no reward markers in great detail. I'll go over them very briefly, but if you want them in more detail, drop me a message on the WhatsApp group and we'll sort it out. A no reward marker is basically a verbal cue that means you got it wrong, try again. No punishment follows, it just means I'm going to withhold your reward a bit longer. So if you ask the dog to sit and it doesn't sit, you say no, you ask the dog to sit. As soon as he sits, you reward mark it, yes. So as soon as they cross the line, just no reward mark it. Go back out, sit, walk back in. You'll be shocked how quickly this happens. The dog will understand that not being in the kitchen is the right thing to do within 3 sessions. Like, it really takes no time off. It's such a simple behaviour. Because you're working not only with reinforcement of the correct behaviour, but you're working with extinction of the bad behaviour. So extinction of the bad behaviour is that they just never come in the kitchen. If they never go in the kitchen, they'll never want to be in the kitchen. Make sense? I think it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to me, but if it doesn't, hit me up on the WhatsApp group. That's what it's there for. Let's ask questions. So, once you've gone in, you've got to start doing things, you know, like your normal kitchen life. The dog's still in a sit stay. You go in, make a cup of coffee, start making dinner. Make the things harder and harder. More noise, more smells, more interesting. The dog has to stay in that sit stay. Then, this is where it gets a tiny bit confusing. You go right back to the beginning, but don't put the sit stay in. So you just walk in, like, you get up, the dog's on the sofa with you, you get up, you walk into the kitchen. If the dog doesn't walk beyond the threshold of the kitchen door, you mark it, yes, reward. If he does, you no reward mark it, put him back in his sit stay, you haven't taught that long enough. Now let's say you can walk into the kitchen, so this is the kitchen line, you can walk in and the dog walks and goes and stops. As soon as this point happens, this is when you start building the real behaviour. This is the proofing. We talked about in one of the other videos, so the proofing stage. So you're not just walking, you're ignoring the dog. You walk 3 steps in, 5 steps in, 10 steps in. So you make a cup of coffee, you make dinner, like all in gradual increments. The name of this game is gradual increments. If your dog doesn't understand it, you move too quickly. This is not a behaviour, in my opinion, that needs punishment to make it work. You could fix it with punishment really quickly. Is it fair? Not in my opinion. You could put an e-collar on the dog and the second his paw goes over the line, zap him. never going to go in the kitchen again. Is it fair? Not for me. It's not how I would teach it. I'm a great believer in wanting my dogs to be happy. Do they get punished? Absolutely do they get punished. Like, harsh. Because they're hardy dogs and they take the piss and they push limits. With something like this is just a minor discrepancy kind of behaviour that's not really that important. Nobody's life's at risk, it's just fucking annoying. So spend the time to teach it. Like, you go in the kitchen probably 20 times a day. Every time you go there, just do a sit stay. It's super simple. Good luck with it, guys. Any questions, ping me in the WhatsApp group. Let's go on to the next video.